We are Black Hawks. We are St. Louis.
Andrew McCutcheon and the Pirates playing their final game in St. Louis for the 2010 campaign. Pedro Alvarez and his club, they have struggled this year on the road. Will those struggles continue today? We're about to find out. It's an absolutely gorgeous afternoon for baseball here in St. Louis. Game 3 between the Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. And along with my partner, Al Roboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Day Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. And P.J. Walters, Al, will get the start today. And this is really an important start for him looking ahead to next year.
No doubt about it. He has to establish himself in the Cardinals' mind that he could be number 5 in the rotation next season. He's making his 3rd start of the year. He had a good one out in San Diego. The other one here at Busch Stadium wasn't so good, so a chance to come out here and pitch well. Last time he pitched was against the Pirates last week in Pittsburgh.
Looking forward to this one. How about Tony La Russa? Will he be back next season as manager of the Cardinals? We'll hear from Tony when we come back on Fox Sports Midwest.
First thing is timing, and we make a commitment every year as players and coaches that anybody's got a free agent issue, don't get distracted with it during the season. You have a commitment to your team. At the end of the seasons, that's when you start thinking about you. So not really, and we always talk about it. You control what you think about. You just don't think about it. You know, now we're getting closer to the end. First of all, you got to be offered a job, and I haven't talked officially to Bill and Mo, but you know I've had some nice indications. So if they want you, then you go to the players. Are the players still willing to take your message? If they are not, then you're a fraud for pretending to be the leader. And in this case, I think there's two other issues. One, when a guy's in a place 15 years, Normally, the coaches think it's 5 to 7. And you start thinking, well, yeah, at some point, they need a new act. Fans, media, players, everybody, the whole organization. So, and then last but not least, you check your gut and see if you still want to keep doing this.
Manager Tony La Russa, number 16 as far as years of service for the Cardinals as their manager could be next season. A salute to our troops coming up next. Is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching today around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Thank you for your service, the men and women of our armed forces, and welcome in and enjoy some baseball here this afternoon. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Our first pitch comes your way next. Full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And by Chevy's Expert Auto Service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Well, we've been looking forward to this. P.J. Walters, get an extended look at him today. And P.J. gets the start for St. Louis in day baseball. And this is the lineup that he'll face. John Russell has this lineup. Andrew McCutchen, Jose Tabata, and Neil Walker. Then Garrett Jones, Pedro Alvarez, John Bowker, Ronnie Cedeno, Chris Snyder, and James McDonald making the start for the Pirates. And the numbers on P.J., high ERA. He is 1-0 with that win in San Diego earlier this year. And his numbers brought to you by Marshall Wireless Sprint. And the first pitch is a fair ball, and it's off the bag, and McCutchen is aboard.
Well, you're hoping for a little good luck for PJ, and immediately that doesn't happen.
So Hamilton at first. It's a different looking lineup today. A lot of young faces in this lineup with Jay, Rasmus, and Craig. Descalso, Green, Miles, and Hamilton. And P.J. Walters and Brian Anderson, the battery. It's our Dobbs defense, and a lot of the young faces from Memphis here in the major leagues today making a start. Which is what some fans have been calling for. They want to see some of these young guys and see what they can do in the major league level.
Well, Dan, the Cardinals were eliminated yesterday, and it makes total sense to, especially playing against Pittsburgh, and then really Colorado, who's now been eliminated also, to go out and see these youngsters, make a determination. Can they play at this level?
Who have you seen that you said, okay, looking at this guy, and I know it's not an extended look, but you've been around the game a long time, and you just can tell certain guys that it looks like they have a pretty good chance to make it. Who comes to mind for you?
Honestly, no one.
Really? But we have talked about Jay as being a potential bench guy.
John Jay has proven to me that he could be a fourth, fifth outfielder. Descalso looks like maybe he can help you as a utility guy, but the fact that he, has played very little at shortstop, that is still a question mark. Can he play shortstop? I think Pagnazzi can be the backup.
This could be two out at second. The turn by Miles, nicely done. 5-4-3. That's the pitcher, Aaron Miles, on that turn. Thank goodness he's not sore-armed today.
Not a real hard hit ball, and so the runner, McCutchen, with that good speed, gets down on top of him. And the high bouncer here, Descalso, gets it over to Aaron Miles, and McCutchen right on top of him. So just nice, clean, hard baseball, and Aaron goes up the ladder, and really no contact there, so just avoids contact. And getting back to my, what I'm saying, yeah, these guys can be on the big league club, but no one, I don't see anybody that's an impact player, anybody that's going to, that is going to take a job away from someone.
And that's why we say it's all well and good to win in the minor leagues and have these teams advance into postseason, but I think what you're saying, and a lot of people that have followed the Cardinals have said, is there an impact player that can come up and be one of those guys that you say, all right, he's your everyday second baseman, everyday left fielder, whatever the case may be.
And remember also, I'm not saying we're trying to play, put a team together like the Pirates that have lost 18 consecutive years. I'm talking about a team that's going to compete for a championship. I don't see that guy.
PJ gets his first strikeout. Cardinals coming up in their half of the first. No score. first, and the Pirates had a leadoff hit off the bag at first. That was erased with a double play. Jerry Crawford in his final Major League game today. He has announced his retirement after this afternoon. Jay, Miles, and Rasmus. Then Craig, Hamilton, and Descalso, Anderson, Green, and P.J. Walters. Here's John Jay, the leadoff man, hitting .301. 4 homers, 27 RBIs. What we have seen from John Jay is pretty good defense, especially in right field. He can play center. We've seen that. Also play left into center field. McCutchen makes the catch on the run. Let's meet this starter, McDonald, who is making his 12th start. 4-5 with an ERA of 4.25 in 65 2/3 innings, and opponents hitting .265 against him.
They acquired him from the Dodgers at the trade deadline, and he has pitched very well for the Pirates. They really like him. They feel like he is a keeper. And, for a club looking for starters, he can make an impact.
Aaron Miles trying to bunt his way on at a scoreless inning. 7-2 game, and even with rosters expanded, we saw Aaron Miles pitch late in the ball game last night. He's 6 for 10 against the Pirates this year.
It's his second pitching performance this season and 5th overall. And he only threw 9 pitches.
Back to McDonald. 2 outs. Defense behind James McDonald this afternoon. Presented by Dobbs as we go around the horn. Tabata, McCutchen, and Bowker in the outfield. Alvarez, Cedeno, Walker, and Jones along the infield. The battery is McDonald and Chris Snyder. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs. Here's Colby Rasmus. Hitting .278, 23 home runs, and 65 RBIs. We talked last week a lot about changing the culture with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 18 consecutive losing seasons. They can't win on the road, it seems like. But this offseason could be very interesting for the Cardinals. As Tony La Russa said just moments ago in my interview with him, that indications are that the club does want him back, but nothing official yet. And then after that bit of business is done, you figure that's going to happen fairly quickly, is all the different scenarios that will be outlined in trying to sign Pujols long term, and then what that means for the rest of this squad. Where can that money come from? Where will it be allocated with the roster? What happens after that?
And Dan, remember, Tony, it's about winning here at the major league level, and even Albert said money's not the #1 issue. It's being on a chance to win. So it'll be interesting, and Kobe strikes out again.
No score after 1 here at Busch Stadium. Season, and runs scored this season Pittsburgh Pirates, only 5 road wins since the All-Star break, 570 runs scored, but look at the difference of 273 from the runs allowed and runs scored. A look at our Toyota keys to the game. And Garrett Jones will lead it off. We're underway here in the second inning, and that pitch is taken low and in.
Mentioned Aaron Miles had to pitch last night, the final inning, and Tony very concerned about PJ and the necessity for him to go at least 100 pitches. Try to save that bullpen.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jones with a home run last night. His 21st of the year. And he hits it high in the air to Colby Rasmus in right center. But P.J. Walters is right, and he's had some games in the minor leagues where he's had high strikeout games. It's the changeup that is really effective for him, and even though he doesn't throw hard, he's got a lot of arm action and a very good changeup, his best pitch.
And you'll see a lot of people chase his breaking ball. And still, his major league debut last year in Chicago, struck out 7. That's still his career high in strikeouts. Last week he had 6 against the Pirates in 4 innings when he gave up 5 runs.
And that pitch is taken for a strike by Pedro Alvarez. 248 average, 14 homers, and 58 RBIs on the year.
#1 draft pick of the Pirates, 2nd overall 2 years ago, and already playing very well in the big leagues.
And how about his play to his left last night at third base? Very good play.
He's an offensive player, but we've seen him play pretty well defensively. He has committed 48 errors in a short period of time, but he's there for his bat.
3 hops to Miles. 2 away. Cardinals would love to see PJ go deep in this game. Not knowing what may happen this weekend, even Tony La Russa indicated he could have a bullpen start, which he's done before when the club has been out of it. But they'd love to see him get to that 100-pitch mark at least and go deep.
And they activated Ottavino today, so it appears that he passed the test for the simulated game yesterday. Feels good today, and look for him to get a little time on the mound. That'd be good for his psyche going into the offseason.
2 outs and a 1-0 pitch. Another ground ball backhanded by Miles, who's at second today. Good inning for P.J. Walters. Alan Craig, the cleanup man this afternoon, leads it off when we come back. Rams football, Halloween, or playing video games. Text off-season, A, B, C, or D to 432-432. And Keith, O'Brien, who comes up with these questions, is quite the video game player, and that would be what he would like to do. Me personally, I'm looking forward to watching a little hockey, spending quality time with you, Al, even away from the ballpark, and also Rams football. Jim will be on the telecast of Blues hockey, so we can look forward to that. That's a base hit for Alan Craig. And it's a double in the first hit of the afternoon. I think it's amazing how you have, over the years, critiqued Jim on his interviews during hockey season and just basically the overall telecast.
Now the ball up and in, just turned on by Alan Craig, who with this extended playing time is swinging the bat very well. And inside the bag, and watch him come inside the shortest distance to the next stop. And don't get started on Jim today. You know, he made me wait for my little part on the pregame show, and
very well done, by the way,
because he loved the extended camera time. His interview with Chris Carpenter. Chris was great, but of course we're talking about Jim.
This is popped up a mile high on the infield. Cedeno backing up on the outfield grass. And he makes the catch. Don't forget, the final Family Sunday is coming up this weekend with the Rockies in town. Head on out to the Ford Plaza. Ice cream, North Star ice cream. Final Family Sunday this weekend against the Rockies. And tickets still available. And also, you get a voucher for a ticket next year if you come out to the ballpark. Fan Appreciation Day. 3-3 this year, Al. $3.3 million.
That's great. Again, these fans are so loyal, and Mr. DeWitt and the other owners, they always come up with a budget and tell Don Mozeliak, you can do this, but if the fans come through like they always do, we'll have a little bit extra later on.
McCutcheon makes the catch in left center. Craig back to the bag at second base, and there's two down. Brian Anderson will be the hitter. Anderson is hitting .250. No homers and 3 RBIs. Big gap into right center for Anderson. No score here in the bottom of the second inning. Fouled back and a good cut. Last night we saw Matt Pagnazzi with a 408-foot home run, 2 feet shy of the longest from his uncle Tom. And Tom Pagnazzi, that was at the old Busch Stadium. We do not have measurements from road games, but just the ones here at home. Off the facade in Big Mac land. 0-2 on Anderson.
McDonald came from the Dodgers, came along with a young outfielder for Dotel.
1-2 pitch. Good block by Snyder to keep it in front. For the Dodgers, for a team in turmoil off the field, made some pretty bold moves just to try to jumpstart their team with Terrio and Lilly, Dotel, Pasetnik. Trying to change the culture of their team. They traded away Manny Ramirez to the White Sox. 2-2 the count, but it did not pay off. There's a broken bat, slowly hit to short. Cedeno, And we have played 2. No score here at Busch Stadium on a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. Right now, you can log on to FoxSportsMidwest.com and chat with our producers, writers, and who knows, maybe even Jim Hayes or Pat Paris. They'll stop by. Cardinals live chat right now at FoxSportsMidwest.com. Speaking of Jim Hayes, he has joined us here in the booth as he does every ball game in the 3rd inning, along with Al Raboski. And Jim, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Cedeno, Snyder, and McDonald. The first pitch is taken low and away. And I think at this point, guys, we need to clear something up. And in particular, from Jim's point of view, Al, the fact that Jim left you waiting for your pregame show appearance, and not many times are you asked to do it. You've been so gracious over the years in saying, yeah, I'd be more than happy to show up and do it.
We also remember, he invited me the cat bite, and then I showed up, and he,
how could I forget that?
And then he disrespectful that time and substitute somebody.
On behalf of Jim, I'm sorry, Al. Sorry that you've had to go through this and been subjected to what Jim feels is his show.
Well, I will apologize to you, Al, because if I have caused you any dismay, I feel terrible about it. But in this case, your segment was pushed back not because of me, as we see a fly ball to center, but because of Cal Eldred. I was right on time with the interview, but Cal had to throw on an extra question, even though it was ground we had already covered in the interview. And that's when the thing went a little long. So while I would love to take the blame.
Have you ever heard about excuses?
Oh.
Everyone's got one.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and in this case, I'm sure Cal has one also.
Well, I was told by the esteemed producer that all the blame was yours.
Jim, you sure you want to stay in here? And Al, are you sure you want him in here?
Can I answer that?
Absolutely.
He can leave now.
I'm going to play through. There's Cal right there. And Cal had to. He's eating now because he spent a little time. He's eating chicken tenders right now. Proud of the fact that he blew up the timing of the pregame show. There's no remorse. Look at him. I'll have another chicken tender right now. Well, maybe some sauce on there. We go. That's almost like a victory tender for him.
And a fly ball into center off the bat of Snyder. 2 outs. Next year, don't forget about MLB At Bat 2011, which will feature play-by-play video highlights, live audio broadcasts. For more information, just visit Cardinals.com right now.
You know why he's so upset, Jim Hayes? Because they are eating something he wishes he was doing. Have you ever seen anybody eat more than the cat?
Bernie Federko. And
They're both
thin. And they're both thin.
That's thin?
Yes.
Okay.
Shot at Bernie Federko.
No, not Bernie.
No, we have wagers on how much. We go to Detroit, and Bernie will eat the entire pizzas that are handed out. I know you have respect for Bernie, Al. Hall of Famer, but Jim?
Yeah.
Future Hall of Famer.
Dead air, crickets.
More crickets.
What's happened between you two? You guys were so close for so long.
I think we
now
got
we're
sideways.
at the end of the year.
I think we got sideways with the whole cat fight thing.
I got to give Al credit. He did show up.
He did.
He was ready for it. Who was the substitute that night? Do you remember?
Abramani.
Oh, it was John Abamandi, the assistant GM.
Right, and we had to get him in here by orders of the Cardinal organization.
Oh, now,
So
now you're blaming. Now excuse again.
There's another fly ball. And drifting back to make the catch, John Jay in left field today. Good start so far for P.J. Walters. John Jay was finding the sun in left field. We've talked about the fact that he can play right and center, very comfortable in those two positions, and with the shades down, fighting the sun, the Plaza Tire Service Exmo Cam, and John making the catch. Didn't look easy going back on that ball, but third and final out at the top of the third, and we move to the bottom half. And Cal Eldred has been kind enough to join us here in the booth, and apparently he felt bad for Jim.
Brought him some food.
And the fact that you came down here and brought me a chicken tender, I will change the assessment of where the blame goes. I will now blame the producer, Brad Straubinger. It is not your fault for making the segment go long.
It would never be your fault, would it, Jim?
No. Not mine.
Isn't it? How about this
It
guy?
was a producer.
Am I going to be in trouble for shaking his hand now? Is that going to come back?
With Al, you will.
No, that's all right, Cal. You can do whatever you want.
Former pitcher. Let's see how it is.
Green, a fly ball into right. Now, you did have an interview with Chris Carpenter that apparently threw the entire show out of whack. Was there anything that you learned from the interview?
Not really. Nothing. I think he admitted the fact that
it's a great promo for people to tune in. You're not really going to learn anything, but come on, join us.
Learn is a very, very serious word, and it was kind of a lighthearted interview. No, he talked about the fact that in terms of his stuff this year, he had to attack batters differently. But in terms of how he feels now, he says he feels fresher now at this point in the season than he has at any point in his career. And he very much looks forward, after he gets by his next start, to the offseason and trying to build on what he did this year.
I'd like to learn why he's fresher this year. Did you follow up that
I actually did, and he said he doesn't know why. He said the training staff does a great job, but he said it's a good question. And I said, first for me.
Now you're shaking your head over there.
Just sounded like a lot of I's and a lot of me's and I'm.
You're saying that Chris Carpenter made the interview about him?
I'm saying you.
No.
But what did we learn to expect?
It's about Jim.
Learn is a very serious word.
Here's P.J. Walters and a swing and a miss. He strikes out. And we see that at first base today, among the new faces, is Mark Hamilton, who wears number 64.
And I was asking him about getting his first big league start. And, if he had a sleepless night, if he's nervous. And he said he's actually more comfortable going into today's game because he said coming off the bench and not getting a chance to play regularly in terms of at-bats, he said his biggest problem when he goes to the plate is adrenaline. And he said if it's just one at-bat, it's hard to tamp that down. So he feels better about it today.
It's slicing out to left, and the catch is made. Can't wait to learn more on the postgame show from Jim Hayes.
Strong word.
Last game, September 29th, 1963. Stan the Man helps the Cardinals beat the Reds 3-2 at Busch Stadium. 2 hits in his final 3 at-bats. Popped up and caught by Anderson. 1 pitch and 1 out. Now I know why Jim just loves coming in to do that segment with us. We're pretty easy on him.
Oh, absolutely. Glad we like him.
We love Jim.
We do.
He makes us laugh.
Can you imagine what we'd do to him if we didn't? Dan, it looks like the Pirates want to get out of town.
Well, a lot of early swinging.
Yep. They're going their way to Florida. And apparently they want to catch some rays.
They might be able to. Now that's today, but there's talk of poor weather coming through on Saturday and Sunday. And even talk of cancellation of those 2 games. Nice hop to Green. 2 away.
All right, there, hit hard by a hot hitter. And PJ getting fair share of ground balls, and the balls they've hit in the air have really not been hit hard. A lot of early swinging.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and this will be pitch number 5 of the inning coming to Walker. PJ, give him credit too. He's been throwing strikes.
That's it. Go out there, just have those strikes, keep them out of the middle of the plate, move the ball around, change speeds.
Pitch number 34 of the afternoon, and 23 of those have been strikes. Walker, first time up, struck out swinging. Here's a 1-1 pitch. And another ground ball and another perfect hop to Miles. It'll be Miles, Rasmussen, Craig coming up. Good start for P.J. Walters. No score midway through 4. Coverage of the unveiling and dedication of Brett Hall's statue before the Blues home opener October 9th. Hall's bronze statue joins McInnes and Federico. Historic moment for Brett Hall, and you'll see and hear it all. Blues hockey returns October 9th on Fox Sports Midwest. Here's a ground ball off the bat of Aaron Miles. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Early count swinging. Guys putting the ball in play and ball up. You'd think it'd be a fly ball, but it's a ground ball out. McDonald, they're real high on him. Like I said, he's Dodgers minor league pitcher of the year in 08. Southern League All-Star in 08. 07 minor league pitcher of the year for the Dodgers. 07 was a California League All-Star. And then he was in the Dotel trade, and you know he's got a good chance to just relax and develop here.
And an 0-1 pitch to Colby. 0-2. Isn't that the truth? I mean, the pressure probably has been lifted off his shoulders of being a team and pitching out in Los Angeles. And now he comes in, and Rasmus has struck out twice. He comes into a situation with 18 losing seasons and probably feels comfortable. Bring the family down this Sunday, 2 hours prior to the Cardinals game. Frozen treats, fun prizes in the Ford Plaza, courtesy of North Star. 345-9000 or Cardinals.com to get your tickets.
Congratulations to Kristen and Noel Aboud on the birth of their third son, William. That was at 12:20 this morning. William weighed in at 7 pounds 12 ounces, 21.5 inches tall. I had dinner last Friday night with the Abous and their 2 other children, and up in Chicago, and congratulations this morning to Kristen and William, and they're both doing fine.
Alan Craig has a double down the left field line. The pitch count for both these guys at 35. And the 0-2 to Craig.
Donald has faced the Cardinals 4 times in the past, is all in relief. And that was all last season.
And a 1-2 pitch to Craig. Breaking ball that's fouled back. This is the pace that we had in the makeup game in Florida.
It happens that way. That one was 158. And both teams eliminated. One team's trying to get out of town, and sometimes in baseball, Dan, you could get fined for taking more than 2 pitches.
Late in the season.
Oh, yes, late in the season. You don't want to get fined, you swing at the first pitch.
2-2. Warm afternoon. It's really warmed up here in St. Louis, but just gorgeous. Perfect for baseball.
Beautiful day.
Rockies in town for the first of 4 tomorrow night. 2-2 pitch to Craig. Pulled foul. And the Rockies, looks like, well, we know they're out of it in the West. And they're out of it now in the wild card.
Right.
As they've dropped to 5.5 games out. San Diego is a 1.5 games back of Atlanta in the National League wild card. Alan Craig with a high fly ball, deep left center field. At the track, it's at the wall, and it's gone just over the wall. Into the shrubbery out there. Alan Craig has his 4th home run of the year. Cardinals lead it 1-0 here in the 4th.
Only the 4th home run that McDonald has surrendered in about 70 innings. Alan Craig gets that pitch that's up over the middle half of the plate. Just got it into the shrubbery.
And a happy fan.
Yep. And also make Harold Esselborn a happy 65th birthday, and hopefully a very fast recovery. The birthday boy gets to spend his time at Barnes Hospital recovering from hip replacement surgery. So happy birthday, Harold, and get well soon. From your loving wife, Cheryl.
Here's Mark Hamilton. 2 outs and nobody on, and a 1-0 pitch. He takes a pretty good rip, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He mentioned when we first saw him pinch hit, and he kind of reminds you a little bit of Chris Duncan. You know, he just goes out there and doesn't get cheated. And he puts all 6'4", 220 into every swing, and there's his first major league hit.
Base hit for Hamilton. So they'll make sure and get that baseball. They tried to get the home run ball last night off the bat of Matt Pagnazzi. It was thrown back into the seats. And apparently,
it's a Scott Boras wannabe, right?
Yeah, the fan wanted a season ticket for it.
Yeah.
Loesch throwing the fake ball up there.
I understand that sometimes players will sign some memorabilia and different things in exchange for a memorable souvenir, but season tickets might be a little bit much.
And usually, Al, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the trainer that will put a little inscription on that ball for Mark Hamilton.
Yep. Gene Giesman described many of mine, and Doc Bowman prior to that, but when I played here, I don't have all of my wins, but Gino used to transcribe the entire box score on the baseball and of the win,
wow.
For the win.
It's tapped foul. You see a little bit of the fogginess maybe with the picture on your screen. That's from the fireworks that we just had off the bat of Alan Craig. The smoke. 1-2 pitch. Runner goes, and it doesn't matter. Strikeout of Descalso, and that's 4 today for McDonald. We head to the 5th. 1-0 St. Louis. Trivia question. What team did the Pirates play in the first World Series back in 1903? AT trivia question. The Boston Americans back in 1903. Alan Craig has given the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. Top of the 5th rolls in. P.J. Walters, so far, so good. He's allowed 1 base hit, and that was to the first hitter of the game, and that was a base hit that was off the bag at first base.
Yeah, first pitch, and swung at it, hit it off. Thought he pulled the ball right off the end of the bat and hit the first base bag, bounced over Hamilton's head for a hit. Since then, PJ has been very economical. 37 pitches. 26 of them strikes.
I know in talking with you throughout the regular season, you've been fairly high at times on P.J. Walters.
Absolutely. Good pitch right there, right in the hands. Just jams the heck out of a set up inside, hits a spot, runs right in there. Look at that. How can you make a good swing when you got your hands touching your belly button?
Here's the 0-2. Jammed him again. 88-mile-an-hour pitch.
If you throw 88, and that's about as high as it gets with his fastball, you've got to have good command. You've got to utilize that good changeup. And we've also seen that he's got a swing and miss breaking ball.
Just missed, slowing away. 1-2. Where's number 40? And so did Andy Bennis, and he was here with his son Drew this morning. And Drew is in the minor leagues for the Cardinals. Strikeout for P.J. Walters. That pitch at 90. His second strikeout. Make sure to visit Busch Bash prior to Friday's game at the Ford Plaza. Bob Tewksbury will be there. For specific details, please visit cardinals.com/promotions. Bob Tewksbury on Friday. That floats in there for a strike.
PJ did throw 5 shutout innings against San Diego, getting his lone win this year.
Nothing in 2.
PJ was 8-5 at Memphis with a 3.80 ERA, 18 starts, 19 appearances, 15th in PCL with 106 strikeouts.
And a fly ball hit down the left field line and out of play.
Here at the big league level prior to today, left-handed batters batting .325 against him. And he's handled everybody.
1-2 pitch, just got a piece of the changeup.
Yeah, good location, down and away, following up the pitch inside.
If you're a scout watching this start, Al, how much stock do you take into it? Watching some of these young players here in September.
It's a great question. And I'll go back and say that don't get tricked in September or what you see in spring training.
I think you definitely make that case with McDonald facing a lot of the AAA players of the Cardinals. The flip side, though, as you mentioned, a lot of guys are swinging early in counts, working
That's what
counts.
I'm saying. You know, you kind of watch this game, and some guys are just trying to get through this game.
There's a breaking ball and a strikeout.
You see PJ do it against Alvarez and Walker and Garrett Jones. You know, you've got to pay attention. There's that breaking ball.
Good pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts and 3 this afternoon for PJ Walters.
And the Pirates, you know, they are young, but they're a pretty good hitting team for a .240 batting average.
Here's a 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. This is Bowker, who grounded out to second first time up. Cardinals start play at 81-76. Pittsburgh at 56-101. 3-0.
Dan, you and I know, and we've discussed this, but we heard independently by some members of the Memphis organization that they were talking about how poor the Pacific Coast League is now, and maybe the worst they've ever seen it.
The 3-1 pitch. The other ground ball out. Miles on the outfield grass. Midway through 5. The difference, Alan Craig's home run. It's 1-0. Carpenter tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. Carpenter looking for win number 16. And the first pitch is hit out of play by Brian Anderson. We're underway. Here in the bottom of 5, Anderson, Green, and Walters.
Happy birthday to John Clayhorn from Leawood, Missouri, celebrating his 59th birthday. Big Cardinal fan.
There's a base hit out to left. Drops in. Anderson 1 for 2.
All up away from him. Look at that uppercut swing and just a little lob serve as gets it over the infield. Falls in front of the left fielder.
Here's Tyler Green. Nobody out. Runner at first. 1-0 St. Louis. Hit and run was on. Anderson to second. He'll stop there. And Green has a base hit. So 7 and 8 with back-to-back base hits in this lineup to start the bottom of 5.
See the runner breaking right there, but shortstop gave up, went to second base to cover, and hit it right through the hole on the left side. But Anderson, with the ball in front of him, couldn't advance to third. PJ can help his own cause right here. Get both runners into scoring position.
Walters to sacrifice, pops it in the air, but foul.
Get the bat out in fair territory and show a little better form. First play right there. They've got shortstop's going to try and race to third and get the lead runner there. Also, part of your defensive set, you'll have one where your shortstop will try and pick you off, be at the bag to pick you off.
And strike 2. A sure pull for PJ for what he and his wife have gone through. Death of their little baby, and missed most of spring training, had to catch up in the minor leagues. Did get the call up. San Diego made the start, picked up a win in 5 innings, his first ever win in the big leagues. Showing bunt. Let's see if he swings. He's bunting and looks at a ball. 1-2.
Donald ran a couple balls in on him to get the first 2 strikes, then a breaking ball away. Little things like this. You got to get that bunt down. Still with 2 strikes, a little more difficult, but how to help your own cause.
And that's a strikeout. Walters cannot help his own cause. That's 5 strikeouts for McDonald. 6 a serious number. You've heard us say it before. When the Cardinals score 6, you get a 20-ounce coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just $0.25. The next day and on the run at Mobile, win or lose. Cardinals score 6. You score 25-cent drinks at On the Run.
John Jay can't pick up his teammate. John 0 for 2. Finds his batting average at .299. That happened earlier this week. And .299 promptly he got a base hit and put it back over 3.
Al, you brought up the point that when Alan Craig gets at bat after at bat, meaning he's playing in that starting lineup, he seems to produce wherever he's at. And that has to catch the eye of John Mozeliak and Tony La Russa. You know, is he a guy you can count on if he has a good spring, being your everyday, let's say, right fielder next year?
You know, he's intriguing, and we said that going into this season, but then you're absolutely right. We've shown that, you know, he hadn't had many opportunities, but playing sparingly, he doesn't look like he's going to be a good, productive off-the-bench guy.
Out at second, back to first, safe. Jay beats it out, extends the inning to Miles.
You know, to going to be a championship caliber team, they'd like to have a little better answer than that.
Here's Miles with runners at first and third, 2 outs. We're in the fifth, 1-0 St. Louis. See a lot of rookies playing today, and the football side of things, Des Bryant, the rookie dinner, apparently had a tab for the Dallas Cowboys around $55,000, give or take. Well, you don't want to be hazed? Sure, we'll take you out. We'll make sure you pay for the rookie dinner.
Yeah, my rookie year, that'd be pretty tough when it made $12,000.
Strike to Miles, 1 ball, 1 strike. How about that? 55 grand.
Nice if you can do it.
Oh. One pitch right down the middle. 1-2.
You're a pretty good salesman. Come home and explain that to your wife too.
You'd be the ultimate salesman.
But honey, they really like me.
1-2 the count on Miles. Instead a check on the runner at first, John Jay. And that's out of play.
How many people were at this dinner?
I would assume the veterans. So I don't know if all the rookies were involved, or you're dealing with big men that play football and that have healthy appetites. Steakhouse.
Maybe extremely expensive wine. And
yeah. There's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Cognac and the port were vintage.
We are on AFN right now, and we get an email from a soldier in Germany catching the broadcast. He says, if you guys can, give Mr. Stan the Man some more love. Great to see the park and city on this wonderful afternoon. And we will have, our soldiers don't know this, a Stand for Stan Day coming up on Saturday afternoon. Midway through that game, we've had those little Stan the Man cutouts. Medal of Freedom to honor Stan, to try to get the government to do that and award him that honor. And everybody will stand and hold that. Take a group photo here at the ballpark. The greatest Cardinal of them all.
And his grandson Brian was up in the booth 2 nights ago and was asking about Stan and his health, and he's really doing well. I mean, he's going to be 90 years of age in November. His lovely bride, I think Brian said that he may turn 90 this on Sunday.
That's what he said.
And but all things considered, you know, Stan's doing very, very well, and he's definitely one of our favorites. And boy, has things slowed down.
Come on down to the ballpark, though. It should be a neat afternoon. 3-2 the count. 2 outs. Runners at first and third. Slapped down the left field line, but foul. Stan has helped out so many charities throughout the years, and he and Albert signed some jerseys for me for my golf tournament coming up on October 11th. If you'd like to come on out to benefit the Special Education Foundation, 314-567-8100. 314-567-8100. Miles strikes out, and McDonald picks up another strikeout. That's 6 on the afternoon. A great Stan the Man as we head to break. Win the next day. Get a free buffet with a purchase of one at the kitchen at Lumiere Place. Visit My Choice for details. Here's Ronnie Cedeno with nobody out. Just underway here in the top of the 6th. Difference in this game, an Alan Craig home run. 1-0 St. Louis. Pitch count for P.J. Walters is only at 55 as he gives up his second base hit of the afternoon. And once again, for that serviceman who is watching, some of the sweet swings of Stan Musial. And by the way, just during the break, we had a veteran that is here, the Iraq War, and
also a police officer who was on the force for 20 months and then responding to a robbery, was shot 7 times. We recognized him and to a standing ovation.
All the players were applauding, and we can't thank our men and women of the armed services enough for what you do. And you can see here, we enjoy baseball and the freedoms that we have in our country thanks to you folks. You could not draw up a better day in late September here in St. Louis.
Not at all. Just beautiful weather and a little chillier earlier in the week, but no complaints right here.
One ball, one strike. Cardinals could use the double play right here. Runner was going. Cedeno from first to second. Long way to go for Craig. Makes the catch. Well, a story right now at FoxSportsMidwest.com with quotes from the Cardinals on where they think this season went wrong. See it now at FoxSportsMidwest.com. There's James McDonald Fly to left first time up. Gets the bunt down. Walters will get the sure thing at first with Miles covering, and the sacrifice is good. 1-4. Catch all the action of the 2010 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. All begins October 6th. The division series on TBS.
Little contrast right there is Walters just gave him a pitch, easy for him to get the sacrifice, and McDonald really just kept on throwing his pitches in on the body of PJ, trying to not give him a lollipop so he could get the bunt down and then end up striking him out.
Now you get the center fielder McCutchen, who's dangerous.
55 RBIs to go along with his 16 home runs. So
1 for 2 this afternoon. Singled off the bag at first base to start the game. Then was erased on a double play off the bat of Tabata, who's on deck. And also popped out to the catcher Anderson. Tying run at second in Cedeno.
And one of my questions about the upcoming offseason, do the Cardinals feel they need to really go out and find a legitimate leadoff hitter?
Maybe more of a speed type guy.
Yep. So maybe, but these combination of guys like McCutchen, you know, he's got 33 steals, but mentioned the 16 home runs, 33 doubles, 5 triples. So a guy that can be just a little bit more than a guy that gets on base, you know, with a single. And he has a good on base percentage for the power and production numbers that he possesses.
Here comes a 3-0 pitch to McCutchen. Outside. Almost looked as if they were pitching around him. Not sure I'd want to do that with Tabata, who's been swinging a hot bat.
PJ, players in the Cardinal minor league system, you know, with the Tools survey, was voted the best changeup and control among the minor leaguers. Walks his first one, and Tabata, who is 0 for 2, but this guy is swinging one of the hottest bats in all the game.
Two outs and 2 on, and that pitch taken for a strike.
Fastball down.
Tabata out with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, hitting a lofty .469 with 14 RBIs and 32 at bats. Pretty good.
So 387 with runners in scoring position, hit in 11 straight games.
This is off the end of the bat, out to left, and John Jay finding the sun, makes the catch. Pirates strand 2. Bottom of the 6th. Rolls in when we come back. Let's go pitch by pitch, presented by Chevrolet. Key at bat here.
Fastball gets ahead, and then a little breaking ball, and a little shallow fly ball out to left, and he's out of the inning.
Here's Colby Rasmus. First pitch fouled back. Tough day for Colby at the plate. He's 0 for 2.
Kind of disinterested.
First time he was called on strikes. Next time he swung and missed at strike 3. And it's 1-1. Rasmus in the third spot in the lineup. Pujols the day off. Holiday the day off.
Colby still a chance to get into the 280s, get 25 home runs.
Lifts it into deep center. McCutchen back with room. Very smooth out there in center field, isn't he?
Yes, he is. You can go get him with that great speed.
Colby is 0 for 3. Alan Craig is doubled and also homered today.
Joe Martinez, a right-hander, warming up behind McDonald. He's only thrown 73 pitches. He's not due up for quite a while.
0-2 with 1 out. Hardy's prime cut of the game. Alan Craig with a long home run. Oh, 2, 1 out, nobody on. Hits it out to deep right center field. McCutchen on the move near the wall. On the track, pulls it in. There he is again. He's going to look at the pitch location. Frank trying to pick up an extra base hit here.
He wanted it away. It's down and in. And we talked about a little bit about his long swing. So down and in, instead of being able to pull that ball, he hits underneath it, hits it to the opposite field. Not driving it.
Fouled back.
Hamilton has a batting average now. First big league hit. Last time up. He played 72 games at AAA, but hit 18 home runs to lead that ball club.
And he's going to reach with a strikeout.
7th strikeout. But he's on base there.
Hamilton had his first base hit back in the 4th, and Descalso, who was 0 for 2, steps in. He is struck out and also flied out to center.
Strikeout, wild pitch. Puts Hamilton at first, and Descalso had the 400 road trip. His first playing in the big leagues, first time last week, and it's been tough to come by ever since. Daniel had a good spring, opened up the eyes of a lot of people. They put him on the 40-man roster in September.
And he pops it up on the infield. And we head to the 7th inning. Cardinals about hit the Pirates 5-2. Craig's home run the difference, 1-0.
We have to get 100 pitches out of him. Worried about not having enough arms for the final 4 games after today. And at the rate he's throwing, if you have a complete game. Hard to imagine that you're worried about arms in September.
1-0 pitch to Walker. Here it comes, who's 0 for 2. And a fly ball into right. 1 away. Brings in Garrett Jones. Jones has flied to center and also struck out. PJ on the afternoon has allowed 2 base hits and struck out 3.
This goes to show you how much luck is involved in throwing a no-hitter. They really only have 1 legitimate hit. First pitch of the game, McCutchen was way out in front on a pitch, hit it right off the end of the bat. The right-handed batter hit it right down the first baseline, hit the bag, and bounced over, the first baseman Hamilton's head for a leadoff single, and erased into double play. Took Cedeno's only really legitimate hit, single up the middle.
Here's a ground ball, and that stays fair. Hamilton steps on the bag. So quickly, there's 2 outs. One thing the Yankees do so well, maybe more so than any other team, is taking pitches and working counts. They just grind through their series, and you think about why they're successful in postseason play. They put a premium on guys that will work deep into a count. And they've got a couple of hitters, Nick Johnson being one who was hurt this year, but they've had a few others that just are outstanding at seeing 4 or 5 pitches each at bat. You start adding that up, sure, you get into a bullpen very quickly.
Yeah, that's the goal, is knock out a starter and doing it as few innings as possible. And everybody's got an Achilles heel is their middle relief.
Right.
And particularly, you can get into what's classified as a long man.
Brett Gardner is very good at that. Brett Gardner came from a very small school, and the coaching staff said the only way you're going to make it is to take pitch after pitch after pitch. And he's learned to hit with 2 strikes, and he's one of the top 3 in baseball at pitches seen per at bat.
Yeah, good hitters are not afraid to hit behind in the count. And the old theory, too, the more pitches you see, the more you give yourself a chance to see that pitcher's mistake.
2 outs, nobody on. 3-0 the count on Alvarez. 0 for 2. He's swinging away on 3-0 and picks up a base hit. 2-out hit, extends it to Bowker, who twice has grounded out to second.
The more you see of Alvarez, the more you like him. And remember, he's just a young player, that 2nd pick overall in the 2008 draft.
Alvarez, futures game last year. Member of Team USA in the 09 World Cup. Minor League Player of the Year. Played in the Pan Am Games, team that won the silver medal. So he has a lot of experience in that regard under his belt in international competition. Minor league totals only played in 126 games. That's it.
He's really made some very good pitches on left-handed batters inside. And isn't it nice to talk about a pitcher throwing inside?
A lot of times you pointed to the fact that he's been able to get in on the hands of these hitters, kept them honest. But he's got to do that. He doesn't throw hard enough to not do that.
And, we talked about Bob Tewksbury, who's going to be in town Friday night, be signing autographs at the Ford Plaza, that Tewksbury didn't throw hard, but he threw 70% fastballs, but with impeccable command and could get in on batters.
Anderson will give it a look. That'll find the seats. 0-2 the count, 2 outs and runner at first. Outfield is deep for Bowker. Two and two.
Curveball.
It was and just missed. Chris Guccione, our home plate umpire.
Just on the inside, but boy, that loop had to look like it had to go across the plate.
Body language of P.J. Walters has been so much better today. And he picks up a strikeout, and it's time to stretch. 1-0 St. Louis on top. For our long drive inning and the qualifiers, as the Hyundai Grand Prize drawing will be tomorrow at Union Station. 4 o'clock Union Station. Al will be there. And watch to see who will win a Hyundai Sonata from the St. Louis area Hyundai dealers.
1 out of 12, right? 12 contestants. Somebody's going to get a key that's going to open up that Honda Sonata. And our Chevy called the bullpen. Joe Martinez, who is obtained from San Francisco at the trade deadline, along with Bowker and the pitcher, the left-hand pitcher Javier Lopez. Made a couple starts at AAA, was 1-2, 1 save in 7 games, 4 starts.
When the contestant wins, they give you hugs, kisses, they start jumping up and down. What's the reaction?
When they are 75 and older, they give me the biggest kiss on the cheek and hug. Female. When they look like your bride Libby, they say, "Thanks, Al."
You're smart.
It's kind of a fun time. It is. Thank Hyundai for doing this, what, about 7 years now or something like that? 7, 8 years giving away those cars. It's amazing how many of those contestants are driving Hyundai automobiles. And
let's just say that San Francisco would get into postseason play, and some fans are thinking, man, Joe Martinez could have been a part of that, or Bowker. Well, if they made an appearance with the Giants, let's say the Giants would win the World Series, they would get a ring. That's how it works. If you've been a part of that team that helps you get into postseason play,
it's the way it should work. It's it's the way it's supposed to work. And you also are entitled to some playoff money,
right?
Voted on by your contribution from your teammates.
This Sky Product telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Anderson strikes out. Final line on McDonald today, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. It was the home run by Craig. He struck out 7 and threw a wild pitch. Fastball and a strike to Green, who was 1 for 2. He singled in the 5th and also flied out to right. Hard hit to short off the glove of Cedeno.
Randy Wynn going to pinch hit. Base hit by Tyler Green, his second. And nice job by P.J. Walters. 7 shutout innings, only 3 hits allowed. Can't argue with that.
Kyle McClellan getting loose. You thought with a low pitch count that maybe PJ would at least go one more inning, but that's not the case. They'll turn it over to the bullpen as McClellan gets loose. Randy Wynn. Runner at first and 1 out. And that ball scoots away. Randy Wynn could be one of those guys that could get a ring. The Yankees would win the World Series. Started this season with New York. He could have a ring and yet never appear in a playoff game. Wouldn't that be something?
And Randy would love to get rid of the distinction that he is playing in his 1,712th game without making the playoffs. The highest active streak in Major League Baseball.
Wynn in the air down the left field line, slicing out of play and into the seats.
And you would have thought Randy, when he started the season with the Yankees, would think that that would come to an end. And even when he came over to St. Louis, you would think it was going to come to an end.
I was watching the Yankees celebrate, and not that it gets old. I'm sure it never gets old. But for them winning the division, I'm sure they'd say it's a big deal, or getting into postseason play. But for them, it's either win everything or bust.
Right. Yeah. If they don't win the World Series, it's been a busted year for them. As the Cardinals have the second most pennants and World Championships, but a distant second to the Yankees.
2-1 pitch. Wynn takes a ball outside.
But the Cardinals have 10 World Championships and they have 27.
Three and 1 to count, 1 out. Runner at second base. Redbirds could use some insurance here. And a ground ball backhanded at first, and Wynn retired. Green advances to third, 2 down.
Garrett Jones goes towards the line. It's up, recovers, and makes the play.
Back to the top of the lineup, John Jay, 2 outs and a runner at third. Big gap in right center.
That fielder's shallow.
Again, to reiterate the point, I don't think they get sick of celebrating. That'd be crazy, but
you do it under control.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just kind of say, okay, boys, this is great, but you know, we haven't accomplished much, and we're looking for a lot more.
2 outs, trying to bunt his way on. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'm sure you would agree. You'd like to see John swing the bat.
I'd like to see him get back to 300 or above, but the league has made an adjustment on John Jay in the last month or so. He's trying to fight his way to stay above the 300 mark. He's down to 298 now.
2-1 pitch. 2-2. League has made an adjustment with the off-speed pitches against John Jay.
Sure. I mean, most guys get up here with the ability to hit a fastball, and he hit 430 in August.
MC to function this morning here at the ballpark, and Kyle McClellan yesterday spoke to kids in another function I emceed, the Cardinals Care function, and then John Jay did that this morning with the career day. Over 2,500 students, colleges and high schools around the area, and he was very good. Importance of education that he got at Miami, and that hit him. So the breaking ball hits him in the foot.
That was why it was important that Tyler got over to third base. Remember, he got to second on a wild pitch and almost got to come home as he hit it.
It's career day. Kerry Robinson, Dan Farrell, you see there, and John Jay speaking to the kids. John Abamondi was a part of that, and Andy Bennis as well. Cardinals do a very nice job with that program. There's John Abamondi on the left. Jeff Luno, center, and John Mozeliak there on the right. John Abamondi on the left. And since we are going out to the
exactly
troops overseas, had 40 missions as a pilot in the early 90s. Also a graduate of MIT and Stanford.
And his second year with the Cardinals after being in the Major League Baseball's front office.
And a ground ball that is foul. Aaron Miles with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And the 0-1 pitch. Base hit right side. Some insurance with 2 outs. Green scores 2-0 Cardinals here in the bottom of the 7th. This guy practices at home a lot at yelling at people. So I'm used to your yelling at people.
That's the Loopster.
The Loopster.
Yeah.
Luke McLaughlin.
So he cut his ear shaving today, right?
Yep.
What happened to your tooth?
What in the tooth? Girlfriend kiss you? Knock that tooth out?
The tooth's been gone for a while. Runners at first and second. Luke's a busy big brother.
Understand that.
3-year-old Avery and Barrett and Olivia at home, the twins.
All of 5 years of age.
That's right. He's 5 and a 3-year-old and 20-month-old. So
4 kids. Dan's 4 kids. Luke wasn't even 4 when they were born, right?
correct. 3.5.
3.5 with 4 kids. How your wife puts up with you.
Well, I think it's tremendous on my part to help raise these kids, and then I come down to the ballpark and
help raise me.
Help raise you, Al.
And beat you to it. Starting to sound like Jim Hayes. It's all about you guys.
Luke has seen your pictures from before. He's come away with nightmares.
Mm-hmm. He's a well-adjusted young man.
The 1-2 pitch. And a foul tip, it looks like. $38,112 here today.
Tickets are available for the final 4 games. Close out this season against the Rockies. They just ran out of gas, didn't they?
They sure did.
It's hard to.
They really, you know, it was almost they put it on 2 guys, Tulowitzki and Gonzalez, and when they ran out, the team ran out. 2-0. St. Louis over Pittsburgh. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser, with full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By AT Mobility. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Nice note here from a big Cardinal fan, Mary Ellen. And she wants to say hi to family and friends. She's here today. It's our Chevy call to the bullpen, and Kyle McClellan, the St. Louis native, is in.
Kyle's had another solid year. 1-4, 2.35 ERA, 72 plus innings, appearing in a 66 ball game. might see him close this out with 2 innings of work.
1 ball, 1 strike.
They're that concerned about saving arms in the bullpen.
And a chopper and playing in. Descalso throws a strike to Hamilton for the first out. Watch Descalso, and you see him when he takes ground balls, just practicing. He gets it and wastes no extra motion. Gets it and fires a strike.
And you should always do that. I mean,
Yeah.
don't lollipop it over. Just give him that good, nice, firm release. Jay over there talking with Felice. Where will his future lie?
Strike 1 to Chris Snyder.
You know, Mosey's talked in terms that Felice has showed enough that maybe he should be considered for next season.
Another guy that doesn't mess around is on the mound right now, and that's McClellan. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Snyder. Flied out twice to right.
It's acquired during the season from Arizona. Hasn't hit much at all. .179 against right-handed pitching. He's gone hitless in his last 4 games, 0 for 12. He has 14 home runs on the year, just 4 with the Pirates.
2-2 pitch. Another fly ball to right. 2 outs. Let's go back to our text poll presented by U.S. Cellular. Folks looking forward to Rams football. Rams have Seattle this weekend.
Amazing what a win will do, huh?
That's right.
Let's hope that continues to draw a lot of interest. And also, don't forget about the Blues. What, October 9th?
October 9th.
Big historic day.
That's right. We'll have the telecast at 6 o'clock on Fox Sports Midwest, October 9th, the unveiling of the Brett Hall statue. Then they'll drop the puck at 7.
Brandon Moss pinch hitting here. 1 for 18. Showed some pop in the bat at the minor league level, but hasn't transferred to the big leagues. Moss hit 22 home runs, 96 RBIs at AAA.
And hits a high fly ball into center. Backing up Rasmus with plenty of room, makes the catch. Good work by Kyle McClellan. That sends us to the bottom of the 8th. 2-0 Cardinals.
in his last 19 games. Did give up a run on a wild pitch Monday. And here again, you know, I mean, you know what Chan-Ho Park is all about.
So why pitch him here?
Yeah, why pitch him when you have young arms down there that you may not know about? What's the difference of 101 losses or 102? You know, find out something for the future.
And a strike at the knees to Alan Craig, who has doubled and homered here today. 2-0 Cardinals. The story of this ball game undoubtedly is P.J. Walters, and P.J. really both starters pitched well, but P.J. 7 innings, gave up just 3 hits. That's foul. No runs, 1 walk, struck out 4. McDonald on the other side for the Pirates goes 6 innings, 5 hits. The 1 run he gave up was a home run to Craig, struck out 7.
Tony giving an extended playing time, 4th straight start for Alan Craig, and he has really responded. 7 for 15 during that time. But on the year, he's still only batting .245, 4 home runs, 17 RBIs. I mean, keep on playing him, get a better read, but
a rare off day for Albert Pujols. How about the weapons that Tony La Russa has late in this game if he wants to go with Pujols or Holiday to come off the bench?
Caged animal.
Yeah.
You know, just doesn't know what to do with himself when he's not playing. Another phenomenal year for Albert. He'll finish in the top 3 in the MVP. Probably will not win it because his team is not going to postseason, but he did his job.
What do you think he finishes? 2?
I think, yeah, second.
2. And you give it to Votto?
I think so. Give it to Votto. And
Hamilton with a base hit in the right. Ryan Franklin is getting loose in the pen. 2-hit day for Hamilton. And Joe Mather will be a pinch runner. So Joe Mather, your pinch runner.
And you may leave Mather in to play first. I wouldn't think you would put Albert in for defense.
We've come to expect the unexpected, though, with Tony La Russa. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-0 Cardinals. Descalso flied out twice and is also struck out. Bounces 1 foul.
Cardinals, their 81st win, were guaranteed at least a 500 season at worst. 1 more victory, they'll guarantee a winning season.
There's a bouncer to first again. Safe at second is Mather.
There Jones. It's wide, and Cedeno couldn't hold on to the tag. Catches the ball. Sails on. Mather, big target there, and it looked like he threw it, trying to avoid Mather, and throws it wide. Cedeno couldn't keep the foot on the bag.
And a base hit to the right side for Brian Anderson. Here comes Mather. He'll score. Throw is cut off. First and third with one out.
Good for Brian Anderson. Extra insurance run. It's about the end of the bat. Didn't have a lot of steam on it, but just well placed, get through on the right side. And that allowed Mather to score easily from second base. They had a play on Anderson, but Cedeno didn't take it. He cuts the ball off, and Anderson around the bag and scrambled back, but no throw from Cedeno. Monday, Chano threw a wild pitch, allowing the run to score.
Runners at the corners for Tyler Green. 2-0 pitch. Outside low, 3-0.
Stavanois on deck. He's had a very nice season as a pinch hitter.
Green with a pair of base hits. He's also flied out to right. The 3-0. They turn him loose on 3-0. Fly ball into right. Runner tagging out to Scalzo. And safe at the plate.
4-0 St. Louis. RBI for Tyler Green. Also had 2 hits in this game.
And Nick Stavanoa, the pinch hitter, with a runner at first and 2 down.
Stavanoa has 15 pinch hits, including 2 pinch hit home runs. He has 3 pinch hit home runs in his career. And a good batting average as a pinch hitter. He's a 300 hitter. In pinch hitting, 15 for 50. Tied for third with the 15 pinch hits. Knee is feeling much better. Banged it up in Pittsburgh. Cost him a start or 2 in Chicago.
One ball, 1 strike on Stavanoa with 2 outs, runner at first. Two strikes. Second and a forced play there. And the Cardinals 3 outs away from taking 2 of 3. Final meeting between these two teams. Franklin coming in.
the 9th at Busch Stadium. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Paris and Rick Horton standing by. Dr. Horton writes his Cardinal prescription for 2011. Alan Craig comes to life. Plus, we'll get Tony La Russa's post-game thoughts. That and more after the game. Ryan Franklin will try to close it out, and we go back to the booth and Dan Nell, guys.
All right, Jim, thanks. 3 other teams tied with 14 times that they've been shut out this year. This could be number 15 to tie the Pirates with Cleveland, and the Cardinals turn it over to their closer, Ryan Franklin, leading by the score of 4-0. The Cardinals about to hit Pittsburgh 9-3 this afternoon. Pagnazzi is behind the plate. Mather is in right field. Feliz at third. Talked about Franklin pitching, and Alan Craig is now at first. First pitch to McCutchen, taken for a ball. So Franklin gets the top of the lineup. McCutchen on base twice with a single and a walk.
Not a save situation, but Franklin coming in here. Great save percentages. Only has 2 blown, 93%, 26-28. He is converted.
Hit out to left. Will it be caught? No. In and out of the glove of Jay. McCutchen hustling all the way. Throwing to second. Not in time. A double for McCutchen. Ball that Jay may say later he should have caught. Not have been an easy play.
Not been an easy play, but he catches it in the heel. So should definitely have been caught. McCutchen hustling all the way. You got to get in there safely, and he does so.
So the opportunities and the saves this year for Franklin, as you talked about, not a save situation, but it's been a pretty good year for Ryan.
Well, it's been very good. He just hasn't had that many opportunities. Cardinals have to score at least 4 runs to win a game. To me, with their very good pitching staff, it's inconceivable that they have only won 7 games this year scoring less than 4 runs.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. And it's popped up to the right side. And no play. Ouch. What hard that low wall was Alan Craig.
He waiting for his defense to get back to their positions. And now he's ready to pitch. About his 11-game hitting streak is on the line right here.
It's a 1-1 pitch.
See if Franklin wants to employ that knuckleball sometime during this inning.
Used that a little bit here in the final month. Here's a 2-1 to Tabata. Up the middle to his left. Green quickly to first. Safe. First and third, and nobody out. Base hit for Tabata.
And extends his hitting streak to 12 games. Ground ball, and I mean, it really wasn't any wasted time, but he runs very well. That's part of it. And just a bang play. Fox Exmo Cam.
Second, did he get him? No. Wow, that looked to be very close.
It's a 19 stolen base. They weren't holding him, and gets there. Pag still has yet to throw out a runner. He's 0 for 7 now. And he's a much better thrower than that. Threw out 31%. And that was one of his better throws, but not holding him on was the difference.
Walker, a .312 hitter with runners in scoring position. Takes a pitch down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good block by Pags. Saves a run.
It's a way out in front of the plate. You're really tough out for the catcher. Got enough of it to keep it in the vicinity.
2-1 the count. Still nobody out. Runners at second and third. Popped up. Long way to go for John Jay. It's slicing near the line. Jay, a sliding catch, makes the play. McCutchen tags up for the first run for Pittsburgh, but a fine play by John Jay in left field.
He did have a long run, and that stands closing in there. Concrete slide to try and protect yourself. Fair territory, and got the ball back in quickly. Look at how far he has to run. Check to see where he is. So a very nice play. Much more difficult than the McCutchen leadoff double that he should have made.
As you talked about, you worry about the wall that comes into play very quickly. Not much foul territory. 1 out, runner at second. Garrett Jones, the hitter. 0 for 3. A fly out, ground out, strikeout. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
All these wholesale changes, you know, if the unthinkable, they tied it up. I don't know if Cardinals would have enough on their bench. They would have Pujols, Holiday, Brendan Ryan, Schumacher, and Stephen Hill.
I think they'd be covered.
I'm not sure.
0-1 pitch. A ball inside. 1-1. First of 4 with the Rockies tomorrow night. And will come your way at 6:30. Strike 2.
Jones leads the Pirates with home runs and RBIs.
1-2 pitch. Pulls it fair to first. Craig will take it himself. And there's 2 outs. We turn to our player of the game. No doubt about it today. Budweiser player of the game. P.J. Walters, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, walked 1 and struck out 4. Very efficient today, too. His final action of 2010 campaign, and it's something you like to build upon going into the offseason.
No doubt about it. You just feel win that last one, leaves a good taste in your mouth. Working out all winter, you just feel like you can build on that, get off to a good start the next year. Good things will happen.
Reds will represent the Central this year in the playoffs. First trip to the postseason since '95. The 5th game-ending home run in baseball history. Yesterday, that clinched a postseason berth. Jay Bruce, Steve Fendley, Alfonso Soriano, Hank Aaron, Bobby Thompson, probably the most famous of that bunch. Dusty Baker takes his third team to a division title. Sixth manager to ever do that. Two strikes. He's one of those six. And the 1-2 pitch on the inside corner, and that does it. Cardinals hold on for the win, 4-1, and they take 2 of 3. Final series of the season begins tomorrow night against Colorado, and St. Louis defeats Pittsburgh today by the score of 4-1. P.J. Walters, outstanding outing. Post-game show coming up next.